The Forest and Lake Adventure of Daisy and Dipper. Once upon a time, in a cozy pond surrounded by a lush forest, two adorable duckling siblings named Daisy and Dipper lived with their mama duck. Daisy was the older sister, with fluffy yellow feathers and a curious nature. Dipper, her younger brother, had a tiny tuft of feathers on his head and loved to follow Daisy wherever she went. While Daisy was adventurous and brave, Dipper was playful and a little clumsy, often tumbling over his own webbed feet. One sunny morning, the pond sparkled under the golden rays of the sun. Daisy and Dipper waddled to the water's edge, excited for a day of exploring. "Let's go on an adventure," Daisy quacked, her eyes twinkling with excitement. "An adventure?" Dipper echoed, bouncing on his little feet. "Where are we going?" Daisy pointed toward the forest and the lake on the other side. "We'll see what's beyond the trees and visit the big lake. Who knows what we might find? But Mama always says to stay close to the pond," Dipper said, looking uncertain. "We'll be careful," Daisy assured him. "Stick with me, and we'll be fine." The siblings waddled through the forest, their webbed feet rustling the leaves on the ground. The towering trees cast dappled sunlight on the forest floor, and the air was filled with the chirping of birds and the rustle of small critters. Daisy led the way, her head held high, while Dipper trailed behind, peeking nervously at every rustling bush. "Daisy, do you think there are foxes here?" Dipper whispered. "Don't worry, Dipper," Daisy said confidently. "If we see one, we'll flap our wings and quack as loud as we can. That'll scare them off." As they ventured deeper, they discovered a sparkling brook trickling through the forest. "Look," Daisy said, hopping onto a rock in the middle of the brook. "Let's follow it. It might lead to the lake." Dipper hesitated before joining her. The brook was shallow but fast-moving, and the cool water tickled their feet as they waddled along the stream bed. Soon, the brook opened into a clearing where a beautiful patch of wildflowers bloomed. Bees buzzed lazily around the blossoms, and butterflies fluttered in the warm breeze. Dipper's eyes lit up. "It's so pretty here," he exclaimed, chasing a bright orange butterfly. While Dipper played, Daisy spotted something shiny sticking out of the ground. She waddled over and tugged it free with her beak. It was a small, golden locket. "What's this?" she wondered aloud. Dipper hurried over to see. "It's so shiny. Do you think it's treasure?" "Maybe," Daisy said. "Let's take it with us. We can show Mama when we get back." She tucked the locket under her wing, and they continued on their way. As they approached the lake, the trees began to thin, and the sound of water grew louder. "We're almost there," Daisy quacked, waddling faster. The lake was breathtaking. It stretched far and wide, shimmering under the midday sun. Ducks and geese paddled in the water, fish jumped playfully, and lily pads dotted the surface. "Wow," Dipper said, his beak open in awe. "It's so big." Daisy and Dipper paddled into the water, their little feet kicking happily. They played tag with the other ducklings, dived for tiny fish, and balanced on the lily pads. For a while, they forgot all about their adventure and simply enjoyed the lake. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, Daisy realized it was time to head back. "We need to go home before it gets dark," she told Dipper. Reluctantly, Dipper agreed, and they began their journey back through the forest. But as they reached the clearing, they heard a rustling sound. Daisy froze, her eyes scanning the bushes. Out stepped a fox, its red fur gleaming in the fading sunlight, and its eyes sharp and hungry. Dipper quacked in fear, hiding behind Daisy. "What do we do?" Daisy's heart raced, but she didn't let her fear show. "Remember what I said? Flap your wings and quack as loud as you can." Together, the siblings flapped their wings furiously and quacked at the top of their lungs. The noise startled the fox, and it backed away, its ears flattening. Daisy and Dipper didn't stop until the fox turned and disappeared into the bushes. "We did it," Dipper quacked, his voice filled with relief. Daisy smiled, her heart still pounding. "See? We're braver than we think." When they finally returned to the pond, the sky was painted with shades of pink and orange. Mama Duck rushed to them, her feathers ruffled with worry. "Where have you been?" she scolded gently. "We went to the forest and the lake," Daisy said, showing her the golden locket. "And we found this.
But don't worry, Mama.
We were careful, and we even scared away a fox." Mama Duck sighed, pulling them close with her wings. "You're both very brave, but the forest can be dangerous. Promise me you'll always stay close to home from now on." Daisy and Dipper nodded, snuggling into their mother's warm feathers. "We promise," they said in unison. As they drifted off to sleep that night, Daisy dreamed of more adventures, and Dipper dreamed of the big lake. Though their journey had been scary at times, it had taught them the value of bravery, teamwork, and listening to each other and to their mama.